My name is Emily Parker, and I never thought I would be sharing something so personal with strangers. But sometimes life unfolds in ways you never expect, and telling my story feels like the only way to let go of the pain I've been carrying inside me. I was once a woman who believed her world was perfect. I had a husband, Michael, who I thought was my soulmate. I trusted him more than anyone else, and I believed our marriage was built on a foundation that could never be broken. I was wrong. Michael and I met in college. He was charismatic, charming, the kind of man who could light up a room with his smile. I was quieter, more reserved, but he made me feel seen, like I was special in a way no one else had ever noticed. We spent long nights talking about our dreams, our plans for the future, and slowly, I fell in love with him. By the time he proposed, I thought I had found the man who would protect my heart forever. We got married in a small ceremony, surrounded by friends and family. That day, I stood there in my white dress, staring into his eyes, believing every promise he whispered to me as we exchanged vows. The first few years of our marriage were everything I hoped they would be. We built a life together in a cozy home in Chicago. Michael had a close circle of friends, Daniel, Ryan, and Josh, guys he had grown up with. They were always around, and I never minded. I liked the idea that my husband had lifelong friendships, people he could lean on. I welcomed them into our home, cooked for them, and even considered them extended family. I never imagined those same men would one day be part of the reason my trust would shatter. At first, things seemed normal. Michael worked hard, but he also made time for me. We had our date nights, our traditions like Sunday morning pancakes and late-night drives when we couldn't sleep. But slowly, something began to change. He started spending more time with his friends than with me. At first, I didn't think much of it. Everyone needs space, right? But soon, the late nights turned into entire weekends away. He would come home smelling like alcohol, brushing off my questions with jokes or excuses. "Emily, it's just the guys," he would say with a laugh. "You worry too much. You know I love you." And I believed him because that's what trust does. It makes you blind to the cracks forming right in front of you. One Friday night, Michael told me he was going out with Daniel and Ryan. I didn't argue. I stayed home, curled up on the couch with a book, waiting for him to return. Hours passed, and he didn't come back. By morning, I was sick with worry. I called his phone, but it went straight to voicemail. When he finally walked through the door around 10 a.m., he looked disheveled, his eyes bloodshot, his shirt wrinkled. "Where were you?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Relax, Emily," he said, brushing past me. "We were just hanging out, crashed at Daniel's place." "You're overreacting." I wanted to believe him, but something in his tone felt off, cold, dismissive. That was the first time I felt a tiny fracture in my trust, but I pushed it aside, convincing myself that marriage meant giving your partner the benefit of the doubt. Over the next few months, the distance between us grew. Michael became secretive with his phone, stepping outside to take calls, changing his passcode without telling me. Whenever I asked about it, he turned it into an argument. "Why are you always checking on me? Don't you trust me?" he snapped once, slamming his phone onto the counter. The irony stung. I did trust him. I trusted him more than I trusted myself. But my instincts whispered that something was terribly wrong. The truth revealed itself one night in the most painful way imaginable. Michael had gone out again with his friends, and I was sitting in bed, unable to sleep. I kept staring at the ceiling, my chest heavy with worry. Around midnight, my phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from an unknown number. At first, I thought it was spam, but when I opened it, my heart sank. It was a video of my husband and his friends, drunk, laughing, saying cruel things about me. They mocked the way I dressed, the way I talked, even the way I cared about Michael. I watched in horror as the man I loved, the man who once held me close and promised me forever, joined in the laughter. "Emily's so clueless," Michael said in the video, his words slurred. "She has no idea what we do when we're out. She actually thinks I'm faithful." The room spun around me. My hands shook so violently that I nearly dropped the phone. My husband wasn't just betraying me, he was humiliating me, and his so-called friends were right there, encouraging him. I don't remember how long I sat there, staring at that video. I cried until my eyes burned, until my chest ached like it might split open. The betrayal was deeper than I could ever put into words. It wasn't just about cheating, it was about trust, about love, about the respect I thought we shared. When Michael came home later that night, I confronted him. "Michael, I saw the video," I said, my voice barely more than a whisper. For a moment, his face went pale, and then he tried to laugh it off. "Come on, Emily. We were drunk. We didn't mean any of it. You're taking it too seriously. But there are some things you can't laugh away. Some things cut so deeply that no excuse can mend them." That night marked the beginning of the end.